unleashing the soldiers or the military on its own people. I think it would be a very, very sad day. We already know that they've done it in the sense that they say they are combating crime that they have failed to control. And I feel like with that being done, they can use those very same soldiers that they've deployed to fight crime to remove illegal immigrants. But so far, I haven't seen illegal immigrants being removed by the SANDF, which once again proves that our government is fighting its own people. They're not fighting crime. Because if they were fighting crime, there would be SANDF members there at Point Road, where there are women and girls that are trafficked, where there are 13-year-olds that we found breastfeeding a child of a Nigerian there in that room, where there are drugs, and the police there at Point Road are part of the criminal network. If the government was really sending out the SANDF members to fight the crime that we have in this country, they would have started with those places. But they're not interested in that because they know exactly why they've been sent out. And maybe we'll hear from Mam Njugutsi what exactly is her plan, because you can't kill every single South African, because majority of us are tired of illegal immigrants. If they want to kill all of us, then they must go ahead and kill us. But we'll die fighting for the future of this country, because I cannot imagine any of our children having to confront Nigerians and being bossed around by Somalian children. We already have to put up with so much of that. Currently, we're sitting with so many cases of young girls that have been raped and molested by these Somalians and Ethiopians, and they claim it's because they helped us with apartheid. We've paid our dues now. It's time that everyone goes home.
You cannot unleash soldiers on South Africans for merely protesting about the presence of illegal immigrants and the crime and social ills that are associated with the presence of illegal immigrants. Welcome back to IZWI LABANSUNDU, the voice for Africans. Today we need to have a very serious conversation as South Africans. A conversation about democracy. A conversation about the Constitution. A conversation about the rights of citizens. And most importantly, a conversation about the dangerous idea that government can use soldiers against its own people simply because those people are protesting about illegal immigration. Because whether you agree with the protest or not, whether you support Operation Dudula, March and March or not, whether you believe illegal immigration is a crisis or not, one thing should unite all of us as South Africans. You cannot unleash military on civilians for raising political grievances. That is a dangerous road. That is the kind of thing that destroys democracies. And today many South Africans are angry because instead of government engaging honestly with the concerns of communities, government is threatening citizens and acting as if citizens are the problem, not illegal immigration itself. South Africans are frustrated. Communities are overwhelmed. Crime is high. Unemployment is out of control. Public hospitals are struggling. Schools are overcrowded. Townships are collapsing under pressure. And many ordinary citizens believe illegal immigration is making these problems worse. Now, whether government agrees with that perception or not is another debate. But what government cannot do is criminalize public frustration. Government cannot say you are allowed to protest about corruption, but not about immigration. That is hypocrisy. Because democracy does not only protect opinions that politicians like. Democracy also protects uncomfortable opinions. And this is where many South Africans feel betrayed. For years, citizens have complained about undocumented foreigners. They have complained about porous borders. They have complained about fake documents. They have complained about employers exploiting illegal labor. They have complained about human trafficking syndicates. They have complained about criminal syndicates operating across borders. But instead of dealing decisively with these issues, government often responds by attacking the citizens who are complaining. Suddenly people are called xenophobic. Suddenly they are called extremists. Suddenly they are treated like enemies of the state. But here's the truth nobody wants to say openly. A country that cannot control its borders will eventually face social instability. Every sovereign nation on earth protects its borders. The United States protects its borders. The United Kingdom protects its borders. China protects its borders. Russia protects its borders. Even African countries protect their borders. So why are South Africans expected to remain silent when they raise concerns about illegal immigration? Why are South Africans expected to accept chaos without questioning government? What is the real issue here? Now, let me make something very clear before people twist this conversation. There is a huge difference between illegal immigration and foreign nationals as human beings. Nobody should attack innocent people, right? Nobody should burn shops. Nobody should assault anyone. Nobody should spread hatred against Africans from other countries. Violence is wrong. Criminality is wrong. Mob justice is wrong. But peaceful protest is not wrong. Peaceful protest is a constitutional right. And if citizens are protesting peacefully, government has a duty to listen, not deploy soldiers like South Africa is under military rule. Because once you normalize using soldiers against civilians protesting social issues, where does it end? Today it is protest about illegal immigration. Tomorrow it will be protest about unemployment. The next day it will be protest about corruption. Then eventually any criticism of government becomes a security threat. That is how authoritarianism starts. Slowly, step by step, with fear, with intimidation, with the state treating citizens like enemies. And South Africans must reject that completely. Remember something important. The military is meant to defend the country from external threats. The military is not supposed to become a political weapon against frustrated communities. Police already exist for public order management. But when leaders start talking recklessly about soldiers being deployed against citizens, it sends a very dangerous message. It tells people that government would rather suppress symptoms than solve problems. And this government has had decades to fix immigration systems. Decades. Where is the proper border security? Where is the efficient documentation system? Where is the crackdown on corruption inside Home Affairs? Where is the action against businesses hiring undocumented workers illegally? Why does accountability only appear when poor communities protest? That is why tensions continue to grow. Because many South Africans feel ignored until they become angry. And when they become angry, they are demoralized. Right. Now let us talk about economic reality that politicians avoid. South Africa is one of the most highest unemployment rates in the world. Millions of young people are sitting at home without jobs. Many graduates cannot find work. Many families are surviving on social grants. Township businesses are collapsing. Infrastructure is deteriorating. People are desperate. And desperation creates political tension. So instead of dismissing citizens, government should understand why emotions are so high. Because for many people, this is not theoretical, it is personal. It affects livelihoods. It affects access to opportunities. It affects community safety. It affects healthcare. It affects housing and each and every aspect of life. Thank you guys for tuning in.